So last year I made this blouse for a ball, and it was a copy of this blouse, which is like my favorite peasant blouse. And then I figured out the pattern-ish. I don't know. Is it as best as I could? I don't know. But like I tried to copy that pattern, and I showed you guys the measurements that I took. But then someone commented that it'd be nice and they would follow if I made a tutorial. So I'm gonna try again and make it a tutorial out of this fabric. So that's the project today. I'm gonna try and make it followable. Yes, so let's go. Unfortunately, I'm quite a lot settled because it didn't turn out as well as I thought it would be when I wore it, because I finally tried it on. And the print also felt wrong on me. You know, color analysis says pink is my color. I still feel weird. I really feel really weird. So I'm gonna redo this. So this video is not gonna come out for Chinese New Year. Probably still gonna come out for Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year lasts quite long, but Singapore holiday is 2 days. So I'm gonna reattempt the tutorial with this fabric. Now I need to pre-wash it because it's not washed. So for starters, this is the pattern, and I'm gonna put a better picture for you to see, but I'm gonna follow this pattern, and then I'm gonna make a little tutorial on how to make puff sleeves. That is not a direct copy from the original blouse. Okay, let's try this again one more time. So one of the things that I didn't like about the blouse that I made was that my length I put in my measurements was a little bit too little. So this time, to make it easier, I decided to use the whole width of the cloth, which means the rectangle is so much easier to cut. So I'm just gonna, this is the cotton fabric folded in half. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna cut 2 rectangles at once. Easy, right? Okay. Yay, so long. Okay. So now you have this, and it's folded, so I'm just gonna cut away the fold. So yeah. Okay, so now I have 2 pieces. Is it too much? I don't know. Okay. Now I'm just gonna put them right sides together for the sake of. And then I'm gonna cut the diagonal for where the sleeves are gonna be attached to. So I marked, so this go up is 12. Yeah, I can't remember, let's just do 12. And then I put my 16th line on the mark that I've done, and then I keep adjusting until here is 1 cm, 0 cm, so this is 16 cm now. I'll draw that. And it's the same on all the top corners of the strip of fabric, so you can just fold your fabric in half and cut through all 4 layers. And the front piece. So with the front piece, I'm gonna fold it in half. Then look at it this way. It dips down to 12 cm. So be 13. It's here. It dips down to here, so do a straight line and then gradually curl it up to that line. Something like that. So for the bottom strip, it is as wide as the top strip, and then this one is 13.5 cm thick plus seam allowance, so 15.5 cm thick. And then for this one, it is 15.5 cm thick here, but then over here plus 5 more cm, so 20.5 cm thick here. Yeah, the way to cut that is just to cut a 25 by cm strip, and then you gradually curve it up. Yeah, easy. Now you just have to sew it at the side seams separately, the top on its own and the bottom on its own, and then I'll sew with French seams at the side. Yeah. I realized I didn't explain what French seam is. It is when you sew right sides out, that means right sides, and then you sew one line across. And then when you're done, you flip this inside out and sew again. That's the actual seam. So that looks like this. Yeah. Okay, next up, I'm going to hem this. So just narrow row hem. Yeah. Now I'm attaching these two together. I've cut a strip for binding, so it's to cover the seam the seam line, the raw edge, and also make a elastic channel at the same time. This time it can be a straight cut. It doesn't have to be on a bias, but usually when I do something like this, it is a ruler thick, about 3 cm thick. Yeah, there's a few ways to do this. So this is one of them, and this one has the band on the outside, which is what I chose to have this time. So so it looks like this one and this one. You want to pin these two wrong sides together. Okay, and then because you want your binding to be on top, but I want to sew it down on the top and then whip stitch on the bottom. So this goes this way. Just yep, so I've pinned them all, and then now you just sew it together. I'll show you how it looks like. It looks like this, and then I go iron it out. So I took some time off camera to make all the ruffles. So yeah, because it takes time. So they're all just finished on one edge. And oh my god, I messed it up. And now I'm gonna attach it on. Okay, yeah, so this one is the one for the front because the design on the original blouse has this thing that dips in. So I'm gonna do it like this. At first I want to show you a different way when the binding is actually at the back instead of at the front. But I kind of like that it disrupts the print. So I'm gonna do it at the front. So same as before, find the center, pin them together, and then pin the binding. Yeah. So the thing you want to consider is that if you want the binding to be whipped to the bottom piece or to the top piece, and because I didn't want to eat up the trim, so I'm going to whip it down at the bottom and sew it up at the top, so it's gonna be like this. Yeah. Okay, now that I have finished all the edges, ruffled all of them. I mean, not ruffled yet. Putting all the end ruffle pieces on. It's time to put elastic. So for the back one, it is 17 cm, 30 cm, and 67 cm. Honestly, this is the measurement I got from the original blouse. So it might need adjustment, but yeah. Every time I put elastic, I will kind of tack the end so it doesn't get sucked in. Eee, so roughly. Yes. Next step is sleeves. So start off by finding your most basic sleeve. Needs a button up so there's no gathers or anything. Yeah, just really basic sleeve. And then if you're nitpicky and you wanna copy both the front and the back, because I guess the curve is slightly different, but I don't really care. So you just lay it down on the seam line. Yeah, as best as you can. And then you trace your sleeve pattern. Ideally, you trace the whole sleeve because it'd be useful in the future if you have a nice solid sleeve pattern in your arsenal, because you can modify this sleeve to become anything. Yeah, but let's trace this first. So ideally you use more paper and you trace to the end of the sleeve. This part will be the fold line. Yeah, and then this is the cut line. Yeah, so you give yourself seam allowance, I guess. But don't give now. But yeah, ideally you copy the whole sleeve and you keep a nice copy, because then you can modify a sleeve anytime you want. So for now, let me just find out the length that I want my sleeve to be. Okay, so my sleeve is 31 cm. So let's put my parallel. Yeah, so let's put this up. Yeah. So to make it a puffy sleeve, you just have to kind of cut it up into pieces. Let's use this one. I'm usually very lazy. I just use the width of the ruler. And it doesn't really matter. And, okay, let's just number it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you cut them up. Yeah. So, yeah, you expand them up. 1, 2, 3 evenly. And then you get a new pattern. This is how it looks like beside my already made puffy sleeve pattern. The thing is that you can make it even puffier by making it even wider. Yeah, it's as puffy as you want it to be. That's how you get a puffy sleeve pattern. I think the small detail is maybe you can also puff up the bottom. So when it gathers up, it'll be puffier. And then smooth out the top. Because the angles of the curve is no longer the same. So now you get this pattern. Yeah, just trace it on a new piece of paper. Out of demonstration, I shall not use more paper than I need to. Yeah, that's how you get a puffy sleeve pattern. Puffy sleeve is very forgiving because everything is going to be gathered up, so it doesn't really matter. Good. Also, I forgot, after you trace the new one, add seam allowance because I didn't demonstrate that. Now that you have your sleeve, you can do fancy stuff with it. Like, example, this is insertion lace and more lace. It's just like fancy sleeve. And this ruffle edge. Yeah. So what I'm planning to do to this is the same as the top. I'm just gonna do a ruffle edge over here. Because sometimes I find that sleeves with the ruffle edge, the elastic channel doesn't flip around as much as when there is none. So I like that addition, so I'm gonna add that addition here. The length of elastic around the arm is just the measurement of the arm. You can even put a little bit more. I don't suggest it be tight any around the arm. It won't feel very comfortable. Just need to cinch. Time to sew up the side seams. French seams again. Time to attach the sleeve to the borders. So what you do is that you match up this seam and this seam, and then sew all the way up the diagonal to the ruffle on both sides, both the back and the front with this one. So when pinned, it looks like this. With all this as excess, that's gonna be gathered later. Yeah, so just do a French seam. It's done! Now it's just the last bit left. So, last raw edge. Now I just have to do a row hem that is wide enough to hold elastic channel. So like this, following that seam allowance, this is the excess that is you're bound to have. So that's the seam, and then you just have to fold a little bit in and then whip stitch it down. Well, pin it down before you start whipping because it's a curve, so you have to fiddle with it a little bit. Since it's a bit fiddly, I decided to film. For the elastic on this, I am gonna tack it down to the seam allowance. Here, that little black thing is the elastic. I'm gonna tack it down to this seam allowance. And then continue this whip stitch just to secure it. So like this, so it doesn't show at the front at all. And I'm just gonna do a little bit of whip stitch, blend it in. Okay, the absolutely last bit now is just... there's a bow here, so let's make a bow. The whole point of having a bow there is just to pretend that this drawstring was gathered because you pulled a ribbon through. Yeah, it is a cute touch and tells me where's the front very fast. So I'm done. Time to wear them on. So let's start off. I bought these for cheap at a atrium of a mall, local mall. Yeah, I bought it because Peasant Blouse is very easy to wear. I like to wear them. It fits with my style. And this is nice, so I bought it. $15, I think. It was quite cheap. And I liked it so much, I made another one. This one's supposed to be fancy. It's supposed to be still white, but fancy. So my emphasis was making the sleeve look fancy. So it has this like sheer panels that's made of lace. Yeah, but it was a recreation. The main part of the blouse was also made of a skirt that was pretty bad, so I just repurposed the fabric. Yeah, and that's this one. And then in that video, someone wanted me to make a tutorial, so I've planned for it. And I'm finally making it this year. I mean, this was early last year and now it's early this year. So I made it twice because the first one didn't go so well, and it looks like this. Well, yeah. So my biggest grievances with it was like how this turned out. This part, it looks ill-fitting. I have no idea what's up with that. And because this was meant to be a tutorial, I didn't want to put up a final product that looks like shit and then call it a tutorial. So I decided that I will scrape all the videos I have and redo it. Also, we're finally trying this on. This print looks really nice on its own. I guess I'll repurpose it for doll projects because, yeah, it looked nice. I thought I would like it, but when I wear it on, I feel very weird. Also, I'm trying to get myself to wear more pink, so I thought this would be like a very subtle introduction to it, but I still feel wrong. They say pink is my good color. I feel weird. So because of that, I decided I don't care. I like 4 colors. I'm just gonna make something out of 4 colors. Since I've hoarded so many cute fabrics, I have a lot to choose from. I didn't hoard the matching thread though, so the whole project is made with non-matching thread. But it looks like this. Well, so it is not a one-to-one recreation of the original blouse because I've made it with a piece of fabric that's way wider, which also means potentially it can fit more sizes, depending on how you adjust the elastic, which I didn't show you how. But I am way more satisfied with this than the previous one. So I'm hoping this is gonna be a great tutorial and you guys can follow. Well, a low neckline means I have to wear necklaces, if not my neck will look too long, which in the previous few clips you can see that my neck was really long. Yeah, but I love how this looks. This green with this brown, it looks so good. Yeah. And it goes with my wardrobe. My whole wardrobe is autumn themed. This is a new introduction to a cooler green, but it matches my existing wardrobe. I can make more cords out of this. And I have plans to make more plain skirts because I am introducing myself to patterned tops way more now. So yeah, more to come that will go with this.